Hello everyone and good day. My name is Naseem and with my group mates with name Hafiza, Daniel and Diana, we are going to discuss about the report proposal of BBA students' perception towards online learning in ICATS University Kuching. So I am Naseem and I'm going to let Hafiza to start her introduction.
Good morning. I wish to Madam Rachel and my fellow friends. Today I'm going to present chapter 1, which is Introduction. 1.0 Background to the study. With the COVID-19, a novel coronavirus disease spreading across the globe, many countries have ordered closure of all educational institutions have come to a functional standstill since they had to protect their students from viral exposures, which are likely in a highly socializing student community. In the beginning of February 2020, schools only in China and a few other affected countries were closed due to the proliferating contamination. However, by mid March, nearly 75 countries have implemented or announced closure of educational institutions. As on 10 March, schools and university closure globally due to COVID-19 has left 1 in 5 students out of school. According to UNESCO, by the end of April 2020, 186 countries have implemented nationwide closures, affecting about 73.8% of the total enrolled learners. Even though the lockdown and social distancing are the only ways to slow the spread of the COVID-19 by breaking the chains of transmissions, closure of educational institutions has affected by a large number of students. During this time, most of the universities have shifted to online mode using Blackboard, Microsoft Teams, Zooms, or other online platforms. The next one is problem statement. Online teaching is hardly a new feature in Malaysia private higher education and has been developed to supplement classroom teaching. However, during the COVID-19 epidemic, it has become the main mode of instructions and is being widely used in almost all college and university in Malaysia. Online learning consists of technologies including the World Wide Web, email chat, new groups, and text, audio, and video conferencing delivered over computer networks to impart education. However, there are some elements that may be considered obstacles in students' learning process when using e-learning platforms, such as decreased motivation, delayed feedback, or help because teachers are not always available when students need help while learning, or feelings of isolation due to the lack of physical presence of classmates. The next one is scope of analysis. The general purpose of this study is to identify BBA students' perceptions toward online learning in ICATS. The geographical location for this study must be conducted within the BBA students of ICATS as this report is written and submitted within student in ICATS and with better and more conducive results with the samples are BBA students, making the scope narrower compared to be done on a global scale, which allows for more localized interactions of the analysis. Theories that are about to discuss is that with online learning as the new platform for gaining knowledge, students are able to perceive by adapting social networks such as Zoom, Google Meet, and local campus learning platform. Able to analyze the differences in their perceptions toward adapting those social networking tools as an e-learning platform and enhance their skill to use social networking tools to do better in their studies and examination. Objective of study: to investigate the relationship between perceived usefulness and e-learning perception among BBA students in ICATS University Kuching. To investigate the relationship between perceived ease of use and e-learning perception among BBA students in ICATS University Kuching. The third one is to investigate the relationship between perceived self-efficiency and e-learning perception among BBA students in ICATS University Kuching. Significance of study. As the digitizing education is significantly essential to the current situation we are dealing with, this research is important because a nation's development is focused on human labor and capital in which education come into action. Based on the problem statement, it is analyzed that students are more interactive towards online learning with great efficiency, boost of confidence, and able to cope with their peers and subject learned. Conclusion. In conclusion, this study is conducted to investigate the perceptions that BBS students have towards online learning. Specifically, it aims to look into the perceived usefulness, ease of use, and self-efficiency of online learning. It is hoped that this study will provide beneficial information that can improve the experience of students as well as lecturers in online learning and teaching. Thank you.
So, what is perception? So, perception is actually an individual's thoughts of other people in life. It can be one of the determining factors for the success, which also applies to students. With the students' perception of the effectiveness and assessments of online of learning positively that related to their learning and also towards the approaches and the outcomes of the learning process. So the perception is also a person's mental point of view of something that can influence to the five senses in attitude. Online learning. So what is online learning? So online learning is also a web-based training or e-learning, distributing learning, internet-based learning, web-based learning, cyber learning, virtual learning or net-based learning are all these are the terms are similar, which is called online learning. Online learning is a wide range of computer-based learning platform that delivers techniques as well as genres, formats, and also media, such as a multimedia instructional programming or simulations or gaming or even use of a new kind of media or even fixed on a mobile platform across all spectrums. Online learning, according to Asper in 2012, an attempt to transform the pattern of the entire academic process. Is an online learning is referred to the variety of titles and terminology, including the web-based learning, online learning, and computer-assisted education. In the circumstances and the operationalization, which online learning has a different kind of definitions. Online learning is also referred to by the variety of titles and terminology, including web-based learning, online learning, and computer-assisted education.
Next is will we discuss about advantage of online learning. There is four advantage of online learning. Is firstly is accessibility of online learning. This is because a student can learn from everywhere. Apart from our situation of pandemic COVID-19, all students are online learning in home. Next is personalized learning. A student learning styles, topic, goal, exerting knowledge, and unique talent may all be determined or processed using an online learning system. Its ability to motivate, build confidence, and self-esteem overcome many the hurdles that learning face, customize the learning experience and expand access. It will be improve the learning experience while existing individual in developing their ICT skills. Next is cost effectiveness. This is because less money is spent on travel, buying book, and spending money in colleges, things setting online learning is most cost effective. Lastly is ability to work at own space. This is because students may be learn at their own speed with online learning since there are no time constraint. That's all for advantage. Now, next we will discuss about disadvantage of online learning. Next is disadvantage of online learning. There is four types of a disadvantage of online learning. Firstly is stress. This they can be stressed because excessive use of technology as well as lack of careful planning and implementation of learning. Variety of issue due to student more to adapt a smartphone or laptop for doing their assignment, and they have no time for social activities because need to do their assignment as well. Okay, next is lack of communication. Eliminates the option face-to-face interaction with the teacher. This is crucial for forming a link between the student and the teacher. Miscooperation between the student and teacher will have negative effect on the teacher learning process and student, resulting in the task misinterpretation. Next is lack of motivation. Lack of motivation is online student, they will struggle to stay motivated when studying since they are quickly sidetracked by other things. For students who struggle with their time and concentration, working on their speed become a disadvantage. And lastly is lack of funds. Technology drawback included cost, hardware issue, internet issue causing battery generation and financial concern. For example, issue rise to require high bandwidth or robust internet connection and require for online courses. For virtual class and having home environment is not suitable for learning. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Danyal. My presentation will cover chapter 3, which is methodology. This chapter discusses the methods of data collection, questionnaire design, pilot testing, and target respondent. So the first one is quantitative method. This study will be using the quantitative method in gathering data. Quantitative methods emphasize objective measurements and numerical analysis of data collected through polls, questionnaires, and surveys, or by manipulating pre-existing data using computational techniques. Quantitative research focuses on gathering numerical data and generalizing it across groups of people or to explain a particular phenomenon. This research is to study and determine the relationship between one thing, an independent variable, and another dependent or outcome variable within the population. So for this research, questionnaires are used by the researchers to gather the information from the respondents to fill in the researcher questions. The questions will explore students' perception about online learning sustainability with the COVID-19 pandemic conditions and whether online learning can help the process of lecture. So the questionnaires serve as a very important tool for this study, and it is inexpensive to collect data, and the results can be consistently used to compare and contrast. So the structure of the questionnaire is carried out in a simple English for better understanding of question descriptions to prompt critical thinking and analytical behavior of the respondent. This encourages a higher degree of accuracy in the respondent's answer due to the prevention of confusion in answering the questions. As the report duration is within 1 week, we have decided to refer to a questionnaire in which there will be a case study done for this analysis, but we would like to simplify the data provided for better understanding regarding the issues reported. Therefore, in the regards of population of simple of this study is based on that secondary data analysis of that particular case study. This questionnaire consists of 2 multiple choices questions and 30 questions that the respondents had to answer with a 5-point rate scale. Before they answer the questionnaire, the introduction and the purpose have been conducted to allow people to introduce the research before they get started. So it has 2 sections, section A and section B. All participants are required to answer the 2 sections that have been provided. So section A for the demographic profile and section B for the independent variables. Lastly, there is sampling design. Sampling design is ultimate for researchers to collect accurate information from the right people, right time, and the right location for research options. So our research participants will be 30 students from the ICATS West campus in Kuching, Sarawak, who are enrolled in the Bachelor of Business Administration in e-commerce program. Female and male students will participate in this study. This is because they are more exposed to online learning, which is a requirement in the documentation of both quantitative studies population specifications.
Let's move on to chapter 4, finding analysis. So, in the introduction, we will, based on the title, which is the BBA Students' Perception Towards Online Learning in ICATS University, Kuching, where the survey is conducted to collect data from students. In this chapter, we will attempt to provide the analysis and description based on the findings of the survey. Based on the findings that we have obtained, we have divided into 2 categories. One is section A, which is demographics and also background, and section B is questions and answers. So in section A, it's about the spectrums of the participants, such as gender, age, experience, while in section B is about the questions and answers that we were going to provide to the participants. So let's move on to the section A, demographics and background. So the gender of the participants are currently, we are able to see that more than 70% of the respondents are actually females, which is ladies, and 30% are males. Next, we are able to determine the age group. In 93.3% of the findings that we have obtained, the respondents are in the age of 21 to 25 years old, while the rest are 26 to 30 years old. With section 4.2.3, with participants' previous experiences in e-learning, we are able to get the response that 93.3% do have experience in e-learning, while the rest do not. With the IT skills they obtain, more than 86.7% are moderate in terms of IT skills, with 10% with very high IT skills, and the rest are low skilled. 4.2.5, with devices to use to perform e-learning in ICATS University College, you can say the majority of them are using laptops, while 17.2% of the rest are using smartphones. For 4.2.6, with participants' semester intakes, we are able to assume that 2 of the students are actually from semester 2, 2 of them are from semester 3, with 3 of them are from semester 4, and 2 of them from semester 5. From 2 of them is semester 6, and 11 of them came from semester 7. 4 of them came from semester 8, 2 of them came from semester 9, and 1 person came from semester 11. So we are able to assume that the majority of students who answer the questions are actually from semester 7. The 4.3 with section B with questions and answers. From here, we are divided into 5 categories, where number 1 is strongly disagree, where number 2 is just slightly disagree, number 3 is fair, number 4 is slightly agree, and number 5 is strongly agree. Keep that in mind as we were going to analyze the result of this section. So 4.3.1 is the participants' eagerness to participate in their online classes. Majority answer number 4 with 16 is the majority, with the minority just only answer only one, with only one person answer the question, answer strongly disagree. So 4.3.2, with the participants' interest towards their online classes, the majority of them answer number 4 with 16 people, with the minority, only one person answers strongly disagree, with a fair balance of 3 and number 5. So 4.3.3, with the participants' difficulty to conduct assignments in their online classes, majority answer number 3, which is slightly fair, with the second majority is number 4, with only 10% answer agree, 4% answer strongly agree, with only the minority 3% answer was just slightly disagree. With 4.3.4, with participants' difficulty to stay focused in their classes, for majority of them 11% answer 3, which is fair, where the second majority is number 5, strongly agree, when third majority is number 4, with the most minority is only 2% answer the question is strongly disagree with number 1. 4.3.5, it says participants' difficulty of distance learning technology. Majority of them answer number 3, which is fair, and the second majority is number 5, with the minority with only number 1, which is only 2% answer strongly disagree. With 4.3.6, with participants' usage of executing technology into their tasks, majority of them answer number 3, which is fair, with the second majority is number 2, with 8% answer the question, and 4%, there's the third majority only answered 1, which is strongly disagree, with a fair balance of number 4 and 5. So 4.3.7, with participants' difficulty to connect their internet to access their classes, which majority of them as usual is majority of them answer fair, and number 3, and the second majority is number 4, the third majority is number 2, with the least majority with the minority of 3% answer number 5, which is strongly agree. With 4.3.8, with the participants assistant with their current assignment, most of them answer fairly, number 3, with the second majority are slightly agree with number 4, with strongly agree with number 5, and the fair balance of minorities, their answers 1 and 2 separately. 4.3.9, with the participants participation in hearing personal response from lecturers during online classes. From this result, we are able to see there are fair balance of majority here with 3 and 4, with fair and slightly agree, with the second majority of number 5, which is strongly agree, with a minority of 2% answer strongly disagree. And lastly, 4.3.10, with a participant effectiveness towards online learning, majority of them, 12 participants, answer number 4, which is slightly agree, with the second majority of 9% answer 3, which is just fair, with the third majority, which is not 5%, answered 5, which is strongly agree, with a minority answer 4, which 4% answer number 2, which is slightly disagree. So let us discuss in chapter 5 discussion. So over here we have there is a flexibility to expand the expertise of utilizing the 21st century technology system with minimizing the additional cost for traveling and printing. But in the condition when the problem arises, since the implementation such as participants' difficulty of conducting the assignment in online classes with only a percentage of 32.3%, which is the second highest. With the problem such as difficulty to connect the internet with the access of classes in the online learning platform that users only shows 41.9%, which is the neutral and the highest in the part of the online learning problem, where the data only shows that participants chose the neutral with percentage of 35.5%, when next with not effectively towards the online learning with percentage of 40%, and also strongly disagree with only 16.7%. Overall, most of the result here chooses neutral. In conclusion, with the data that we have gathered, it is critical for the future development with provisions of solutions on how to improve the ICATS online learning platform. Many of the users have suggested, such as easy-to-use interface for the e-learn users to improve the efforts and of enabling the access of online materials and related learning tools for their courses. So, in order to avoid for future technological crises when using online platform, we should able to use different online learning platforms such as Google Classroom, for example, to access the online learning materials. For students who do not have the access of internet or do not have the ability to purchase mobile data to access the learning materials, we should try a diversified of combination strategies such as pre-recording, for example, or using facilities such as Wi-Fi in the ICATS University College. That's all from us. Thank you.